Hello, everyone, and welcome to another match in the final. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. The final 8 of the ALTTPR Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. My name is Krithel. I'm here for you on comms, and today our racers are Orange and Krithel. Krithel has one win in the best of 3 over Orange, and so Orange is fighting for his chance to stay in this tourney right now, and so I'm very excited for this race. I've the glitch racing community is fairly small, but has a lot of races against each other. So I've participated in and watched many races from both of these racers, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this race today. So and looks like we just got started. Both of our runners are with a Link's House start, fairly normal. And oh, got a quick map check from Orange as Krithel goes ahead. And yeah, similar openers. Check out that Highly Island item. Well, we will definitely be seeing both of them. Clip over there, just a little standard down teleport and clip into the wall. Get, ooh, almost got, oh no. So Krithel ended up kind of getting thrown off by that guard. So he ended up not on the right pixel to set up this funny auto-walk thing, which is what we saw from Orange there. And Orange setting up what's called a sink and quit, where you get hit by the pickle there, and as the screen is pixelated, you save and quit immediately, and it just takes you immediately to Sank, cuts out a few seconds, and getting a glove in Sanctuary, going straight to the back of Sank. Krithel will certainly make his way there soon enough, but Krithel, meanwhile, heading up to check Saha's closet. That is kind of an area that you sometimes see runners put off for a while, trying to link it up with either Eastern Palace or the Mushroom Check. So looks like it didn't give Krithel much today. So if Orange does put that off for a while, it shouldn't delay him too much. All right, so Orange is going to be getting our first checks going in, and a bottle in the Bonk Rocks. That is wonderful to see. That'll probably be drawing Orange to the Kakariko checks a little bit sooner. One less item location that Orange would be isolating if he left it there. But you never know. Sometimes people like putting off Kakariko until they can maximize their chances of getting enough to full clear it. Nice red rupee drop from the crab. Nice, great source of money. Wow, bombs off the tree pole and red rupees off the crab. This is a very nice start. So we got both of our runners doing a lumberjack check, so that isn't hanging over their head. Didn't see what it was on Orange, and oh, there it is on Krithel. Just 10 arrows. So no more Aga seeds this evening. Orange taking full advantage of that crab red rupee drop. Krithel saying, nope, you know what? 180 is enough for now. So now is where we might see some divergence. Again, that bottle will probably send them into... that bottle incentivizes going to Kakariko a little earlier, but still with the early sword, Death Mountain is also a pretty nice play. Looks like Orange is choosing to go to Kakariko, and looks like Krithel is as well. So with a bottle and bombs, the next couple minutes are probably going to be very similar between both Orange and Krithel. They'll be clearing out Kakariko, heading down, checking out Race Game, heading up to Desert. just getting these early checks. The cane is interesting. The cane, and whoa, that is one of the earliest mitts I've seen in a while. Man, early mitts in a glitch seed is not really what you want to see. It opens up some pretty unfortunate checks. It also makes routing a little bit awkward. In overworld glitches, you often like to clear the dark world in one loop from north to south or south to north, and having that option available of starting from the middle and then kind of splitting things up is a little bit awkward. One of the fun things about glitch racing, in non-glitch racing, you're obviously hoping to find the mitts. Mitts are one of the nicest things that you could possibly find. And in glitch racing, we kind of don't want to see them. Whoa, man, that was... Okay, so a bow, an ice rod. Anything else? That was a lot. This is a fairly rich opening game. So Krithel already cleared out the back of Sahasrah's closet, so Orange will have a little more pulling him towards an early Eastern clear. Whereas for Krithel, there's a little bit less incentive to go there, but it's a crystal dungeon, so Orange saves a little bit of time on saving that extra trip to the back of Sahasrah's closet. And yeah, Chet's pointing out that a fairly... Oh god, Ice Palace is open. Yeah, in overworld glitches, you can be expected... In overworld glitches and hybrid major glitches, you can be expected to fake flipper, lift the rock to get into Ice Palace, and then do Dungeon Bunny Revival to get your Moon Pearl out of Ice Palace. Now, of course, in overworld glitches, they wouldn't be able to do that because they have no way of getting past the freezer. They don't have Bombus or Fire Rod. In hybrid major glitches, all you need is a bomb to just clip past that first freezer room and start opening checks in Ice Palace. Without a hammer, we're probably not going to see that anytime soon, but yeah, it's a possibility. Could have a hammer and ice and a hammer-locked Moon Pearl. Well, never mind. The hammer on the Desert Torch, one of our 2 items, and that makes... Ew, man, that makes Ice Palace look a little bit better. Not having any way to kill freezers still makes Ice Palace a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, chat's asking, how does the logic in this differ from standard logic? And thank you to Asder for explaining. Probably better than I can quickly. It's we see a lot of overworld glitches. Just most barriers in the overworld mean much less in this mode than they do in non-glitch modes. We'll see them jumping up mountains and teleporting around and all sorts of stuff. But in hybrid major glitches, we'll also see them traveling between dungeons. So, depending on the pendant crystal layout and the items they get, we might see them enter Mire and then go to the room right before cutscene chest and then clip into a wall and end up in Hera, and then clip into another wall and end up in Swamp. All sorts of fun stuff like that. There's the second item in Desert. Always nice to find. Without oh no, they do have a lamp, but there's I would be very surprised to see either Orange or Krithel finish off Desert here. Yeah, they could, but 4 hearts, hammer, landmo, that's probably see them put it off until later. What? Okay. Well, it's a it's a fully clearable crystal dungeon. Okay, I guess with the bow and the lamp, Krithel doesn't have magic, but there's that small magic pot. Oh my goodness, that saves the trip coming back later. I guess this is nice insurance against a mirrorless seed. If you had... If they ended up not finding the mirror and before go mode, then making their way back to desert to finish it off would be inconvenient. There's kind of... Unless you find mirror, there's not really a great time to come back and finish desert, so... That might be why might be why they're seeing this. Oh, and Ice Rod as well. Okay, so Orange will have a fairly convenient, yeah, really fast. I think a poke got in the way of one of those shots. Krithel will have a bit of a rougher time with hammer, and I guess he does have the option of using the bow. Get some of that NMG landmo. But yeah, Orange with the half magic and wait, where was half magic? What did Orange check to pick up half magic that Krithel skipped? Oh, okay. Thank you, Mabo. The backup escape. Oh, all right. That as we're seeing here, the with a much slower landmo clear. Orange made up, I don't know, probably a minute or so on Krithel there. Shovel in K45, get to hop down and do the shovel check. If Krithel decides to do Agina's cave before K45, it's slightly unusual routing, but you sometimes see people do it. He'll be able to do these checks a little bit more efficiently. Looks like Krithel's using the more conventional route of K45 first. The plan here, if they hadn't found the shovel, would have been to do K45 and then hop up and do Checkerboard Cave, and then finish the route in Agina's Cave. And you kind of want to finish your route there because walking out of Agina's Cave is terrible. Just very slow. But getting the shovel kind of inverts that. Like walking back from the shovel is and teleporting back up is also slow. So that's a bit of an awkward item to find there. All right, another opportunity for divergence with 400 rupees. Yeah, with 400 rupees, I think South Shore doesn't look particularly good, so I imagine Orange is probably thinking something similar as he's heading up the mountain, very well equipped. Orange, I believe, missed a quick hop as part of the new Death Mountain Ascent setup there, and so when that's done correctly, you end up jumping down twice. You jump down once, and you get like halfway into the wall, and you jump down again, and then walk directly into Old Man Cave. If you miss a quick hop there, you end up jumping down onto, I guess, the light world's equivalent of Bumper Ledge, and so you need to do another little clip into the wall to continue as the recovery. Orange did the recovery well. Let's see if Krithel gets it. First try. Yeah, Krithel got the quick hop, so made up a couple seconds. All right, Death Mountain with 4 hearts. But this is very, very common in glitch modes. I'm sure both Orange and Krithel are very comfortable with this setup. With a sword, it's much less scary. So Orange choosing to check out Hera immediately. Got a heart and not a small key. I didn't see what the other item was. I'll see it here on Krithel's side. So one of the 2 items and a compass. Okay, so we have we have a Hybrid Major Glitches signature Tower of Hera. So if the big key isn't in one of these, the lower 2 chests, or 3 if you get a small key, then then Hera is logically blocked by clipping in from Misery Mire. So, looks like that is the case today. So, the second item in Tower of Hera will be blocked by access to Mire. All right. Oh, this is some interesting divergence. Krithel's choosing probably to go to Graveyard Ledge and then combine it. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. Choosing to go to Kingston. Get that Sphere 1 location out of the way. Got a nice armor upgrade. That'll make Eastdeath Mountain a little bit more comfortable. Orange getting down pretty low. I wonder if Krithel heads to Eastdeath Mountain here, or... Okay, no, looks like Krithel is going to Graveyard Ledge, and then, because he didn't correct his camera before heading down to Graveyard Ledge, he'll be able to go into a drop-down, and we'll get to Houlihan Cave, and get enough money for Zora, and then head over to Zora. It's a very convenient check. Another option available to Krithel there would have been to correct his camera and jump down that same hole and end up in the back of Escape to pick up those items in his half magic. But you know, those are easy to pick up anytime, and Houlihan kind of never really gets more convenient than it was right there immediately after doing Graveyard Ledge. So I think that makes sense. He did have the option of, since he has the myths, he did have the option of linking up King's Tomb with Houlihan. I'll be interested to see if Orange chooses that route when he ends up heading over there. It'll be interesting to see. Nope, Orange is doing a Zora DMD. So with bombs and arrows, this is interesting. So Orange is choosing not to do... Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward situation for Orange. Even more awkward now that he sees money there. So the route that Krithel is taking right now will be quite convenient. Because Krithel will have the opportunity of clearing these South Shore checks and then getting a water walk in Ice Rod Cave, and then carrying that water walk all the way to Waterfall Cave. And yeah, the Orange is having second thoughts about that route. So yeah, the fact that there were 300 rupees there that he would have needed to splash delete to is very inconvenient. So I imagine we'll probably see Orange link up the South Shore checks with Zora soon enough. Oh, right. There's not really a very convenient way. He had... How many arrows did he have? He had like 9. I guess he theoretically could have done splash delete to the rupees, splash delete again to get out. Oh no, wait, don't you have to drop down a ledge? I don't think I've ever done splash delete to get out of the Zora Ledge. That's new. I don't know if that works. Now I see Krithel picking up these checks that Orange isolated a little bit, getting his Quake Medallion. And because Krithel got the Houlihan rupees, the Zora Ledge rupees won't be particularly tempting. Meanwhile, Orange is doing the route that I mentioned earlier. He didn't do Sahasrahla to open with, so picking up the back of Sahasrahla's closet and full clearing Crystal Eastern Palace is very convenient for him. Okay, and Orange did do Paradox and Spiral, but Krithel didn't, so I imagine this is probably Krithel heading back to pick up those checks on Easteth Mountain. Wait, did Orange do? Yeah, he certainly did. Ooh, I think Krithel was trying to set up an up teleport to get into the clouds and ended up doing a down teleport there instead. Fortunately, not one of the mistakes that soft locks you. Very easy to recover. Heading over and a nice quick little jump down to get back in bounds. That's the fun one. That's asking, do they start with boots? Yes, all glitch racing I'm aware of is done with boot start, and that's just because in a glitch race, if you don't have boot start, the game is kind of decided by who finds boots first. There's basically nothing else that matters except for that one item location. It's just such a huge advantage. All of the glitches, all of the bootless versions of all of these glitches are way more time consuming. So that's why bootsless glitch racing is very unpopular. Looks like Orange is skipping the. At least if I. No. I'm wrong again. Or I did see Orange head over to the big key chest. Okay, so full clear Eastern Palace. So Orange is ahead by an Eastern Palace clear, and Krithel's ahead by a South Shore and Zora clear. We'll probably see them retrace each other's steps here very shortly. I wonder where our progression is. Oh, probably Uncle. But yeah, and it's looking like progression is almost certainly Uncle, unless there's another item on Armos. If there isn't, then I expect we'll probably see Orange and Krithel retrace each other's steps. No, Krithel's heading back to the mountain. Where? What's Krithel doing here? What did Krithel leave on the mountain? Did he not do the... Wait, what is Krithel doing here? Is Krithel doing fake flute? I see he has 2 bottles. I didn't see what the contents were. Oh, okay. Orange did Eastern before the back of Saha. That makes sense. Krithel is doing what's called a citrus clip. It's a series of 1-frame inputs. Oh my goodness, this is spicy. A series of 1-frame inputs to clip into the wall, and because he fixed his camera, this won't be what we saw from the previous glitch race in the tourney. This won't be a way to get to Pyramid Ledge. Instead, this will let him, as you'll see shortly, I think this is the right pixel. Yeah, there it is. This lets him get into Ganon's Tower. Wow, this is an early Ganon's Tower play with hammer and lamp. Okay. Yeah, this is a very unusual play from Krithel's side. So if this pays off, this could be huge. This is not in logic, so Krithel can't possibly find his Moon Pearl here. And Krithel has the hammer, but no hookshot, and he has the cane, but no fire rod. So he can full clear the basement, but it will be a very slow full clear. Left side, not quite as slow as right side. That's really interesting. This is a very bold play. Meanwhile, on Orange's side, what we saw was a much more conventional play in this situation. Orange clipping from the bottom of Spectacle Rock into the shooter room in Pod, loading up Pod in cave state, opening up a door to save a key, exiting, heading back in to reset the state of the dungeon to pod, just so you can actually open chests without ending up with the keys getting lost. And now doing a bunch of checks in pod that are in logic, so we could be seeing a Moon Pearl very shortly on Orange's side, but yeah, again, Krithel can't possibly find the Moon Pearl up here. Krithel's play here would be a lot more conventional if this was a Major Glitches seed instead of a hybrid Major Glitches seed, because the glitch that you saw Krithel do with that series of one-frame inputs and select buffers to clip up to GT as a bunny, that is not in logic in hybrid Major Glitches. That's kind of the next level above hybrid Major Glitches. That kind of glitch becomes the bread and butter of that mode. Pretty cool to see. I was not expecting to see a GT Citrus, especially a fire rodless, hookshotless GT Citrus in this race. That's exciting. GT big keys on the left side. That's nice and convenient. Usually, you'll often see people clear the left side first. As Orange opens up more stuff in pod. Orange found 5 small keys in the front of pod. It's a little unusual. Doing a quick extended auto stairs to bypass that crystal switch, save a few seconds. Was this another 6-key pod? No, I think Orange saved the key in cave state. So I think there was only 5 up front. All right, lots of chests being opened on both sides. Huge thanks to Super Malmo World for tracking, because yeah, it is very hard to talk and keep track of a whole bunch of chests being opened at the same time. But Krithel finishing off these out of logic checks in a Ganon's Tower basement clear. I'd be very interested to see if Krithel decides to clear right side GT to do the fairly difficult lamp bomb jump on the right side. I expect Krithel's comfortable with it. The only problem with it is it's fairly time consuming. So this is multiple levels of out of logic on Krithel's side. The entry into here in the first place was out of logic, and then everything after the first 4 chests was also out of logic. So this tile room is the last location in Ganon's Tower that would be in logic if Krithel had the Moon Pearl, but so it's, I guess, slightly more likely to have progression. Like, if Krithel finds the Fire Rod here, that's pretty much I think that's the best possible item that Krithel can find here. Well, really, the best possible item that Krithel could find here would have been the hammer, but he already has the hammer. All right, Krithel deciding not to go for the bomb jump on the right side. Perfectly understandable. That's Krithel was already extending pretty far for that check, so not too surprising. Krithel doing a fast clip over. This is a nice quick way to do the hobo check. I don't think we saw Orange do the. In fact, I'm certain we didn't see Orange do the hobo check. So this could be something. Turns out it wasn't. Yeah. Krithel probably didn't lose too much time to that, because the citrus is a little bit slower, but I think Krithel got it fairly quickly. And and also the bomb clips that Krithel did on left side GT are also, you know, a little bit slower than hookshot, but not too much. Also, if Orange finds the fire rod before anything else draws him up to GT, then if Orange finds the fire rod before the hookshot, then I would imagine we would probably see Orange do the left side GT bomb jumps as well. Orange with a fairly low percent Bulbasaur has to be a little. Oh, he has the red potion. Okay. Switch into the slightly safer arrow. Clear. I didn't see if Orange did the spin speed hammer technique there. Oh, it's Pendant Eastern. Oh, okay. Wait, is it Pendant Eastern and Pendant? Oh, no. I was confused. Orange just did Pod, not Eastern. Brain swapped, seeing Krithel and Eastern and Orange and Pod. Okay. So that's Pendant Pod taken care of. I don't think Orange found really anything in there. That was... Wow. Pod completely empty. Even though that's the majority of the in-logic checks remaining to Orange, so... Okay, well, now Orange is doing the South Shore checks. It's looking pretty likely that... It's looking pretty likely that our progression is probably in Hyrule Castle. I think Krithel stands to make up a decent chunk of time if Krithel decides to go to Hyrule Castle before doing the Pendant Pod dip. I didn't see if Krithel got Pendant Crystal information. Okay, looking at his tracker, Krithel did get the Pendant... Krithel did do a map check before going into GT. So Krithel knows it's Pendant Pod. That might draw him more towards picking Hyrule Castle instead of Pod, and potentially saving a big chunk of time against Orange if Krithel sticks with that bet and stays away from Pod. I believe Bombos was at South Shore somewhere. That's kind of the only checks that... well, Krithel had Bombos before heading into GT, and aside from GT, those are the only checks that Krithel's done that Orange hasn't. And there it is. So that's a full clearable Ice Palace, which, again, Krithel knows is a green pendant. Orange does not have that information yet. Huh, that's an interesting situation. Yeah, Orange is going to be tempted here by further isolating these Zora checks, which, fortunately for him, we know don't have anything, because Krithel did that, and instead choosing to turn and go into a full clearable, but again, pretty low percent Ice Palace clear. What is that? Fighter Sword, 6-heart Blue Mail, Ice Palace? Oh, well, if you found Fire Rod, it would be a lot more tempting. Don't think he used his red potion. Okay, Orange is taking the slightly less bold. Ice Palace on that gear would have been very, very spicy, I think. Alright, so Krithel in this situation is going to Hyrule Castle, which... yeah, we'll probably put him in the lead unless our progression's just in Ice, which would be cool. It's interesting that Krithel's choosing to do the front of Hyrule Castle before making it to the back. Yeah, that's an interesting play. Hyrule Castle item logic is unchanged, so because Orange cleared the back first, Orange will have the knowledge as he's clearing the front about whether Dark Cross is guaranteed to have the small key or map. So Orange can potentially skip Dark Cross with confidence here, whereas Krithel... Oh, because Krithel has... okay. Because Krithel has the gloves, doing it in this order, I guess, doesn't make much difference. Because he could clear up to Zelda Cell, save and quit, do clear from the back, and then potentially go to Dark Cross if necessary. Meanwhile, Orange making the play, choosing to double down on skipping the front of Hyrule Castle, and which is a little bit, I think, a little bit spicy. This is a fairly low percent Ice Palace dip. Hopefully, Orange is comfortable with it. But it's only 3 items here, plus the green pendant, as opposed to the... Well, I don't remember how many items Orange got out of the back of Escape, but... What is that? 3, 4, 5 items waiting for him in the front of Escape? Something like that? Wow, the amount of early game divergence here is very impressive because based on the item placement, this seems like, oh, Krithel going for a... Okay, Krithel changing his mind. It looked like he was in a fire rod. Oh, that is huge for Krithel here. Okay. Wow, fire rod there is pretty big. So if Orange does find progression here, Krithel will have a much faster and much safer Ice Palace clear than Orange is looking at. Wow, but if Malmo's correct and there is a guaranteed map in Dark Cross, which we haven't seen, but if because Orange cleared the back and Krithel cleared the front, if neither of them found the map yet, then that's where it has to be. Then the only place our progression can possibly be is... Am I correct? I think it has to be here in Ice, which, wow, that is a pretty rare seed. So it's interesting. We had both Orange and Krithel go for a pretty early Landmo kill, but because Orange checked the back of Escape first, Orange had Ice Rod and Half Magic, had a much faster Landmo kill than Krithel. And now, just 20 or so minutes later, because Krithel checked the front of Escape before Orange, Krithel will have a much faster Cold Stare kill. Now, Orange in this situation hears the pendant music. He still hasn't done a... Oh, he did do a map check. Okay, so Orange does know that this is green pendant. Huh. And there it is. Moon Pearl in Ice. Oh boy. So Orange definitely takes one attempt at finishing here. Hopefully for his sake he gets the clear. It is a pendant dungeon, so... If Orange dies on Cold Stare here, I would be very surprised to see him head right back in. But hopefully he doesn't die. Oh, Krithel came here immediately before checking back of Escape. Wow, okay. So Krithel didn't go to the back of Escape, didn't pick up that half magic. So, he'll have a little bit easier time of it, but not as much as if he'd done back of Escape first. The unfortunate thing for Orange here is because he got that Moon Pearl, that opened up a lot of Dark World. It might take him a minute until we see him get to escape to pick up that Fire Rod. So that's a little bit of a vulnerability on Orange's side here. It kind of depends. I think Mirror in the back of Skull Woods is probably the worst case scenario for Orange in this situation. But Orange making it look easy. Just getting that low percent cold stare kill, making it look easy. I didn't see if Orange abandoned an item in Dark Cross. Orange trying to do a map check, but after doing Dungeon Bunny Revival, that leaves you in the... After doing Dungeon Bunny, or after dying in a Dark World dungeon before killing Ganon, that changes your world state from Dark World to fake Dark World, and when you check your map in the fake Dark World, it shows you the Light World dungeons. Alright, where's Orange going here? You just found the Moon Pearl. Heading to Dark World. Looks like potentially a normal DMD. He fixed his camera, so... Oh, interesting. Doing a spike cave check. Yeah, this is in logic, and with half magic and burnout, this is fairly safe. And because Orange didn't get the Fire Rod, he doesn't have many upcoming demands on his magic. So Orange in this situation, I suspect will probably do a normal DMD, and then not sure how many overworld checks he'll do, but one way or another he'll make his way down to Village of Outcasts, get that fully clearable Thieves Town out of the way. Meanwhile, Krithel, with the Fire Rod, has a significantly safer Cold Stare fight ahead of him. Nice, getting a lot of those free sword slashes as they're kind of pinned in the corner out of the way before switching to Fire Rod, and a beautiful Master Sword Cold Stare kill from Krithel. Very nicely done. Chat's asking about our runner sprites today. Yes, Orange is using the Freya sprite from Final Fantasy IX, and I believe Krithel is using the Zero Suit Samus sprite. Alright, now it looks like Krithel is covering his bases a little bit, picking up those chests in the back of Escape. He'll probably have a good laugh at seeing the half magic immediately after it would have come in handy. And Orange picking up Tempered in Thieves. Orange has to be a little bit careful with his life here. If Orange does die in this dungeon, it's not only a minor time loss, he would need to get back to wherever he left, but as I mentioned earlier, it would set his world state from Dark World to fake Dark World. And the only way to correct that, the only way to return to the real Dark World at that point and continue his Dark World checks would be if he had the mirror, which he doesn't. So hopefully he doesn't die in here. Yeah, so the reason that ending up in the fake Dark World would be unfortunate for Orange here is it's not that it would mess with his Link state. He got the Moon Pearl. That's perfectly fine. It wouldn't revert him to a bunny. The problem with being in the fake Dark World state is the moment he left the Village of Outcasts screen, that screen transition switches you from from fake dark world to real light world. So that kind of ends the clear. All right, on Krithel's side, we have a one of the most significant plays that demonstrates the routing advantage that knowing how to hover in this mode gives you. If you know how to hover, then you can get access to East Darkdeath Mountain, as we've seen very, very early. It requires nothing but boots and a moon pearl. So getting here, all these items are accessible very, very early. But if you don't know how to hover, then coming up here is kind of bad. Coming up here without the hookshot feels kind of bad. You're isolating those. You're isolating these 3 chests. But if you do know how to hover, then suddenly this becomes a much, much more attractive routing option. You can take care of all of these chests and also clip down and take care of catfish. It's this is the kind of play that games are won and lost on very, very frequently in this mode. Hovering in this mode can be a huge advantage, depending on what he finds in these chests. Found an ether medallion. All right, choosing to walk away from the... and that demonstrates the risk of attempting to hover but not being comfortable enough with it to follow it through. Krithel has isolated that last chest, and yeah, it's very, very isolated. It's very hard to get back to. If progression is there, then that could be a pretty major time loss on Krithel's side. We have seen races won and lost on that. All right, now this is interesting. Krithel, instead of going to catfish, Krithel is doing a map wrap. He's hopping down, then heading into the transition, and being very careful not to tap right or get pushed right whatsoever. You saw him tiptoeing around the edge there, pulled it off nicely. And because he has the fire rod, now he's in Skull Woods and he can full clear Skull Woods. So that's very nice. A nice routing option. It kind of isolates catfish a little bit, but with both catfish and that last hookshot cave chest there, it's kind of... He has 2 locations potentially drawing him back there eventually. I think the worst case scenario for Krithel in this situation would be hookshot on catfish. That'll be very... That's a very isolated item for him at this point. All right, Krithel getting the Skullwoods bridge chest before heading up and killing Moth. This fight will be a little bit easier for Orange because he got the Tempered Sword. So we'll have to keep a close eye on what Krithel finds here, because if Krithel finds an important item, I don't think he got anything important off of the bridge chest. But if he gets an important item off of this Moth, then Orange not picking up that fire rod will be a pretty significant disadvantage. Actually, the worst item for Orange's sake in this race for Krithel to have found there would have probably been the mirror, but fortunately for Orange, Krithel did not find the mirror in the back of Skull, so yeah, so that fire rod isn't as inaccessible as it would have been if mirror was fire rod locked. Fire rod is in Zelda Cell, which is fastest to get to if you can link it up with Pyramid Fairy and Pyramid Ledge. but you do need the mirror to you do need the mirror in order to do that. All right, sorry to any photosensitive viewers. Orange, because he clipped in to Mire from a way the game doesn't expect, it loads the rain state incorrectly, and you get that flickering. I will try to give a little bit more warning if I see when I see Krithel approaching the Mire area. And Orange heading into a fully clearable Crystal Mire, yeah. Bombos Medallion for Mire. This Mire clear might be a little bit slower for Orange than it will be for Krithel, because Krithel has that Fire Rod. So if Orange decides to do Cutscene Chest, then loses just a little bit of time there. I think in this situation, the best item that Orange could find was probably the mirror. Like, finding that mirror will drive Orange towards Hyrule Castle to pick up that Fire Rod. Although it is getting to the point where, there's an old meme in this, in Over Glitches and Hybrid Major Glitch racing, where you say you want to, if it's already been an hour and you haven't checked Uncle yet, then your progression is probably at Uncle, and you should probably go check it. We're kind of approaching that time. Orange has a lot of very high density and high value locations still ahead of them. He has that fully clearable Crystal Mire. And then, of course, I think Stumpy and Hype Cave and a whole bunch of other checks that it would be strange to walk away from immediately. But once he's kind of wrapped up this Dark World clear loop, as we've seen him go from north to south, I wouldn't be too surprised to see him head to escape after this, depending on what he finds. So he doesn't have the hookshot, so Hera and Swamp seem kind of unfortunate. Although Orange is in Mire now, so he does have the option of linking up the Mire clear with the Hera clear. I think it's a little bit less convenient without mirror and or hookshot, but still doable. And in logic, your hookshot can be at the top of Hera. Alright, so Krithel is getting the Thieves' Town checks out of the way that previously saw from Orange. Orange, one of his 2 Mire items is just some bombs. I didn't see... Let's see. Yeah, I didn't see if Orange has the big key and or the second Mire item yet. But even if he has found the big key and the second Mire item, little door state extension here. Clip through that rail, head down the stairs. Nice and quick, got it first try. But even if Orange had found the big key and both Mire items fairly early, one of the things that you'll sometimes see in hybrid major glitches, but rarely in lower glitch modes, is runners kind of going out of their way to either pick up an extra Mire key or save a Mire key. Because those Mire keys are useful. Using one Mire key to clip from Mire to Hera, and then from Hera to Swamp, and then use that key to open up the Swamp front door. That is logically that can be logically required in this mode. So one option that was available to Orange there, not too surprising to see him not take it, but he could have walked the long way around to save that additional Mire key, and to spend that key on either speeding up Swamp Palace a little bit, or spending it to open up Hera Basement. I think both of those plays are a little bit unusual, so not too surprising to see Orange just say, nope, I have all the Mire keys I need to do everything I want to do in Hera and Swamp, so I'm gonna take the fast route. Orange is one game down in this series, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see Orange. Orange knows he has to win this to stay in the tourney, so it wouldn't be too surprising to see him, take slightly more aggressive gambles, slightly riskier plays. As Krithel picks up another crystal, taking a crystal lead. Yep. Yeah, Krithel is ahead by the Skull Woods clear, and Orange is ahead by a Misery Mire clear. But really, they are extremely close in terms of time. The only thing that could potentially make a big difference at this point is when does Orange make his way back to Hyrule Castle to pick up that mirror? Oh, sorry, to pick up the Fire Rod in Zelda's Cell. Alright, Krithel doing Hammerpeg Cave. I don't know if we saw this from Orange, but whether or not we did, it has nothing. And here's a play that you don't see in lower glitch categories or less glitchy categories. Orange is heading back into Mire. Even though he already full cleared it, he is heading over to the room right before cutscene chest, and he will be doing a bomb clip, setting a bomb, and dashing into the diagonal wall as the bomb explodes to quickly and easily clip into the wall and end up in the top of Tower of Hera. Actually ending up in the fairy room that you get to if you drop into the pot in Hera. Just aligning on that wall, dashing down, waiting a bit. Perfect, first try. Oh, photosensitive viewers, watch out. Krithel's side is about to get flickery. There we go. But Krithel is checking Mire Shed first, so heading into Mire Shed and then back out will correct the corrupted rain. So Orange, because he doesn't have the hookshot, is now using one of the extra keys that he got to open up Hera Basement, and which makes it fine that he used the Hera Small Key. So Orange had two extra Mire Smalls heading into this situation. He opened up a chest in Hera while in Mire State to steal a key from Hera into to basically convert the key sitting in Hera's chest into another Mire Small Key. So he dropped down, used that to open up Hera Basement in case that has the second item, and then headed back up, used the Mire Big Key to open up the Hera Big Key door, and then headed back up even more, and is now doing what's called a dash citrus clip. It's a series of precise inputs that lets him get to a specific pixel in the wall, and then lets him teleport down into Swamp. And he still has an extra key left over, so it is nice and quick to use one of them to open up that first door, and then use the other to open up that one. And that is his last Mire/Hera Smolky, so picked up another one from the swamp pot to open up the front door. And that could be logically required. There is no restriction on where the Swamp Small can end up in Hybrid Major Glitches, and so there's a 90% chance that the Swamp Small ends up not in the first chest, and if you hit that 90% chance, then all the stuff that we just saw from Orange of, well, especially the last step. Oh no, all of them actually, because of where that Hera Small was. So everything we just saw from Orange, there's a 90% chance that it's logically required. Orange getting his flippers in Hype Cave, which kind of sends him a little bit. It provides a lot of incentive to. It's a bit of a scary situation. So finding those flippers puts chests in Swamp in logic. But Orange still doesn't have the hook shot. So it looks like Orange is immediately following those flippers. He's committing to postponing the front of escape and immediately following those flippers into a oh my gosh, this race is providing so many complicated Hybrid Major Glitches things to talk about. This is wonderful. So, as Krithel is beginning the steps that we saw from Orange earlier of clearing Mire and then probably heading from Mire to Hera, Hera to Swamp. Meanwhile, Orange is okay. He's picking up the ether check before heading back in. So because Orange picked up those flippers, the non-hookshot locked chests in Swamp are in logic, even though he doesn't have the mirror. And the way to access them is what we just saw. Orange went to dam, flooded the dam, and then did a save and quit. The dam only gets unflooded if you do an overworld screen transition. And so because Orange rescued the old man earlier, he was able to do a save and quit, spawn at the old man cave. You're on the screen with Hera in it. You don't need to do an overworld screen transition. You can just get into Hera. The dam's still flooded, so he's gonna do that same clip that we saw from him earlier oh, this is clever. Okay. While Orange is in Hera, he's finishing off this crystal dungeon. So finishing it off, potentially getting the second item. I have no idea if there's another item in here. But this is a great time to do it. Just finishing off Hera, and then we will certainly see him immediately head back into Hera, climb Hera, do the clip that we saw earlier. There, I'm almost certain that's the second Hera item. Okay, so now Krithel heading back into Mire to clip from Mire to Hera. Orange heading back into Hera to clip from Hera to Swamp. I suspect we'll probably see very, very similar routing from Krithel here. The fact that he's coming in here means he's probably... well, the only reason to come in here would be to continue on to open up the Swamp front door. So Krithel won't be finding those slippers in Hype Cave before doing all these things. So this becomes fairly linear at this point, even though it's quite complex. All right, and as I was saying, we have Orange heading over, doing the same dash citrus, a few frames of up left, 2 frames of dashing left, and then 1 to 3, 1 to 2, no, 1 to 3 frames of up left again to clip over into Swamp again. Except this time, he both has the flippers and the front of Swamp is flooded. So he's able to walk out the front of Swamp, and the reason that's important is Swamp is a crystal dungeon. I guess it's not quite as important because he doesn't have the hookshot, but he might find the hookshot here, in which case Swamp will be a fully clearable crystal dungeon, but he does have to walk out and walk back in to change the dungeon state from Hera to Swamp. And that's necessary in order to make the boss drop the Swamp prize, the Swamp crystal, instead of trying to drop the Hera crystal again, which, if he just killed the boss there, nothing would have happened. Esther's asking if Big Chest would be significant here. I think if either runner had opened up the chests in the front of Swamp and the big key had been there, which I didn't see if the big key was in one of those two chests, then opening up those two chests would be pretty scary if progression ends up being in the big chest. It just makes the big chest very, very isolated. Oh yeah, I haven't even thought about our go mode situation. Oh, this is a little bit scary for Orange. While we while we were clearing all these crystal dungeons and doing all these checks, Krithel is hookshot away from go mode. Oh, well, hookshot and flippers, but he's going to get his flippers in like 2 minutes here. Yeah, hookshot away from go mode. And so Orange really needs to if Orange does find the hookshot here, then he kind of needs to make a beeline to Zelda's cell, but the hookshot doesn't really draw him immediately to Zelda's cell. So this is a bit of a scary situation for Orange here. What would be better for Orange here would be if he found the... What is it? If Orange finds the mirror here on left side Swamp, then that's very fortunate for him. If he finds the hookshot, that's a little scary. All right, chat's pointing out. Did Krithel open? Ooh, Krithel not opening the front door there is a little bit scary. Krithel will need to open chests in the top of TR to pick up a small key to use to open that Swamp front door. But I think the small key was in the big chest, and I don't remember where the TR big key was. So that's potentially a little scary. I think if TR big key is in the basement, and if the small key... sorry, not TR. If the Hera big key is in the basement, and the small key is in the big chest, then Krithel's in a bit of an unfortunate situation here. Oh, did Krithel not pick up the trench key in Swamp? Okay. Okay, yeah, Krithel does have 0 small keys in this situation. So we'll have to pay very close attention to where the big key and where the small key are in Hera in this situation. Krithel did open up the big key door here, so he's able to progress to the top, and it's a crystal dungeon, so we'll almost certainly see him clear it here, but we really need to pay very close attention to where that... Oh my gosh, I think the small key is on that big... Oh no, he opened the... Oh, he opened the big chest in Mire State. Oh, ooh, that's a little bit scary. For Kristhel's sake, I hope he... Yeah, I think someone in chat pointed out that Krithel did leave a small key in the trench. In the swamp trench. So he will have the option of going in there to get it. That's an interesting situation. Alright. Orange, unfortunately, with that hookshot, is not going immediately to Zelda's cell to pick up his Go mode. At this point, really, any checks that Orange does that aren't the front of escape is just giving Krithel, like losing time to Krithel here, giving Krithel an opportunity to catch up. But Krithel choosing not to link up Hera to Swamp there. I'm not sure if Krithel used the trench key and we just missed it, or converted the trench key to a Mire key. But yeah, one way or another, choosing not to go into Swamp. So, this is interesting. All right, Orange now. The scary thing for Orange here is GT is looking very, very attractive. The fortunate thing is, because Orange is in Fire Rod Go mode, we won't see him do the bomb jump on the right side. Oh, this is actually very fortunate for Orange. So this is kind of funny. We have Orange doing left side GT because he has the hookshot and he's in Fire Rod Go mode. We have Krithel doing right side GT because he has the Fire Rod and he's in hookshot Go mode. This is kind of a gift of the Magi GT simultaneous clear here. So... And oh no! Oh, that's okay. So going back to what I was saying earlier, the only item that really draws Orange to the front of escape, the item that Orange in this situation is really hoping to find before going to the front of escape to find his fire rod is the mirror. And Krithel just picked up the mirror on the fire-locked right side of GT. So, that's a little bit scary. It's not necessarily too bad. Like, Orange in this situation will be able to full clear GT, and he needs to do this. As we can see, Krithel is also doing this. Krithel cleared out the whole basement, so Krithel's heading up the climb. Orange will almost certainly head up the climb as well. But then, yeah, we have to think about the situation that both of our runners will be in after this climb. Orange is probably looking at his timer, looking at, remembering the tired old 1 hour Uncle Check meme, and we're well past an hour now, so hopefully he doesn't start getting into metagaming territory of starting to think that, well, if progression's in escape, then I've already lost, so I'm gonna double down on putting off escape as much as possible. Hopefully he doesn't make that play. Meanwhile, on Krithel's side, Krithel has to find a way to open the swamp front door, which I'm not sure how he's going to end up doing that. We were talking earlier about how he could clip from Hera to swamp to pick up the trench key, assuming he left a trench key, and open the front door that way. If he didn't, or if that route doesn't occur to him, then Krithel won't make his way back to swamp looking for his hookshot on left side swamp until he goes back into mire and clips from mire to Hera and Hera to swamp all over again. This is really, this race could absolutely go either way in this situation. I have no idea. It's kind of two very unfortunate situations and very unlikely calls, and we're left wondering as viewers which runner will kind of will head into their own unfortunate situation first. Chat's asking, did Krithel break the game by converting dungeon keys to other dungeons? And the answer is no. It's possible, but very, very hard to break to make a hybrid major glitches seed unwinnable by misspending your mire and Hera and swamp small keys. Kind of the only situation that makes that a little bit likely is if you sequence break the Hera small key. If you get the Hera small key, don't use it to open up Hera basement, and then instead spend it in swamp, and also spend all of your other swamp and spend the swamp and Hyrule Castle's rat keys. If you spend all of those keys and Mire's a crystal and the Mire medallion is in Hera basement, if all of those situations line up, then you've created an unwinnable situation in a hybrid major glitches seed. We already know that's not the case. We already have seen our runners access Mire, so there's no concern about making an unwinnable seed with small key usage here. All right, Krithel making quick work of Ganon. Again, this is the format of this race is 7-7 defeat Ganon, so the Aga 2 kill is required. Orange with a little bit low on life, just getting that red potion at the ready. Nice butter sword for Krithel. Orange probably doesn't. Oh no, Orange almost certainly picks that up because he'll finish GT here, and then probably do similar routing to what Krithel's doing of check pyramid ledge and then clip down and swim across the a nice little lazy river that you only ever see in glitch modes. Oh, Krithel was just using that as a convenient way to get to Smith Chain. Oh, oh boy. Well, yeah. I think the situation for Krithel here seems a little bit more unfortunate than the situation that Orange is in, because it's looking like Krithel either can't due to small key usage or hasn't considered using the swamp trench key to clear swamp from Hera, or even if that has occurred to him, going into hookshotless swamp, yeah, that always feels bad. So that's probably the reasoning behind what we're seeing from Krithel. What we're seeing from Krithel here. Meanwhile, there's much less. There's kind of much less standing in Orange's way, standing between Orange and the front of Hyrule Castle checks. We're at an hour 19. Those are Sphere 1. They've at this point, from Orange's point of view, they probably have like neon lights flashing above them. Those Sphere 1 locations. So it'll be interesting to see what Orange does immediately after this. We probably get the Pyramid Ledge check. I wonder if Orange walks to Catfish after this. I don't remember if we saw him. I don't remember if Orange has done Hookshot Cave. We might actually see him head up and do Hookshot Cave into Catfish. But really, like, after any save and quit you see from Orange, like, at any point in his route, at this point, it wouldn't be too surprising to see him, like, choose to go to the front of Escape and pick up his Go mode. If he had the mirror, which unfortunately is fire rod locked, then now would actually be a decent time to head down there. Alright, meanwhile, Krithel doing a bunch of overworld checks, hoping to find... Well, the silvers are a nice consolation prize. I don't remember where the mushroom was. Orange doesn't have it, Krithel. Oh, I wonder if the mushroom was one of those fire rod lock chests. Orange heading back up the mountain. Yeah, I wonder if this is... So, this is probably a Hookshot Cave check. If I remember correctly, Orange hasn't been over here at all yet. And if he hasn't, then this totally makes sense. This is higher density than the front of Hyrule Castle, so totally reasonable. And yeah, looks like Orange hasn't been here yet. For Orange's sake, it would be a lot better for Orange if he went down to... if after finishing these checks here, if Orange finished his route at Catfish and then didn't try to dip into Fire Rodless TR, hunting the Fire Rod. But there are more chests available to him in TR, so we could see him lose a little bit of time to hunting for the Fire Rod in TR here. And yes, from Krithel's perspective, the reasoning here is completely different. Krithel is hunting the hookshot. The hookshot doesn't gate anything for him up here except for that last chest in Hookshot Cave, which he knows can't contain the hookshot, so that's not a concern. So from Krithel's perspective, there's a lot more density in this full TR clear than in most other places. So as we can see from Orange, he's doing the route that's a little bit more fortunate for him, choosing not to dip Fire Rodless TR, and instead doing a Catfish DMD, and then saving and quitting after Catfish. Theoretically, he did have the option of doing a Catfish Death Mountain Ascent after that, which it's really cool. But it's kind of slow, and chasing the Fire Rod in TR in this situation, in Pendant TR in this situation, seems pretty unlikely. And as we can see, Orange decided not to go into Pendant TR or the front of Skull. There's a lot of Sphere 1 density left for him here in the front of Escape, which we know will have his Go mode. So a Sphere 1 Go mode. A Sphere 1 Go mode for Orange. So it'll be interesting to hear. It's interesting looking back on both of our runners' routing decisions here. I wonder if Krithel was considering, like, I wonder if at some point Krithel wanted to do to clear the front of Swamp, hoping for hookshot. Like if he wanted to do that, because it did look like he was setting up for that with all the Mire to Hera to Swamp, and then back into Swamp, and Krithel was going through a lot of the steps for that. I wonder if there was a mistake made at some point that sent him off that route, or if it was deliberate. If he said, I'm not going into Swamp. I'm not going into Hookshotless Swamp. So it'll be interesting to hear what the reasoning was behind that decision. But on Orange's side, we have him approaching his Go mode at 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 54 seconds. Orange finding Go mode there, finding a Sphere 1 Go mode there. I imagine if I was in Orange's shoes here, I would be feeling pretty behind. That, especially because he's fully aware that if he had done that Sphere 1 check before Swamp, then he would have been able to Go mode GT. So that's the kind of item location that makes you feel pretty far behind. Orange is probably feeling fairly behind. He has no idea that he's very, very far ahead in this situation. I hope, but let's see. Orange is on his last crystal. I do hope we get to see Krithel at least start down the path of unraveling the kind of tangled mess that's become the Swamp Palace situation for him here. But I kind of doubt that we'll end up seeing that, because in Krithel's situation here, he probably also full clears pod before starting to head back into all those things. Hopefully, like, it'll be interesting if Krithel does decide to continue. It's a very interesting situation that he's in, and it'll be cool to see how he handles it. So from Krithel's perspective, we have finishing off TR, and then probably full clearing pod. And from Orange's perspective, we have our 7th crystal and are heading straight to Ganon. Oh, thank you, chat, for correcting me. Orange's Go mode. Assuming the small key was in the back of Escape. Yeah, assuming the small key was in the back of Escape, then Orange's Go mode was actually Sphere 2 and not Sphere 1, because that is logically glove locked. Oh, this is interesting. Orange, instead of saving and quitting, Orange is walking back from Moth and I imagine we'll see a pretty cool clip that from Orange right here, where he'll clip into a rail and then jump and then dash diagonally across the screen, and it's very visually impressive. What is Oh wait, is this a fake flute to? Oh, interesting. A fake flute instead of a save and quit. Interesting. So what I thought we were about to see from Orange was a quick clip from this screen that that gets you. Oh, okay. So what Orange was attempting there was getting on the last or second to last pixel before a screen transition, and then pressing left and using the bottle on the exact same frame. And if he had done that, it allows him to use the flute to use a blue potion in a bottle as a flute in the dark world. So it would have allowed him to flute to presumably 5 and then dash to Ganon from there. He didn't get the frame perfect input, so instead it spent the blue potion normally, and now he's walking there. Yeah, the glitch that I thought I was going to see was what's called river clip. As I was saying earlier, you would have clipped through the wall and then wrapped around the screen one time, and then just dropped into Ganon. But yeah, the fake flute that Orange was attempting there is another thing that can be a little time save, but in this mode, in this racing mode, can never be logically required. Which is fortunate because, as you can see from Orange, that is it's a frame perfect input, and if you mess it up, you only get one shot. That's your potion gone. Ooh, Krithel with the mirroring into Super Bunny. I didn't see if he got stuck in the wall. Oh no, that was probably deliberate. Okay. All right, yeah, and that was a cool glitch that we saw from Krithel. It was Krithel wrapped around the screen on Dark Death Mountain to offset his position to just in front of the Pyramid Fairy door, and then mirrored, and then went back to go into that portal to kind of clip halfway into the door, and then that just lets you bypass the bomb wall. And Orange has finished off with a very efficient Buttersword Silverless Ganon. And all he has to do now is cross this bridge, and Orange has tied up this best of 3 for our final 8, and this match will go into Game 3, and we are joined in the booth. I say we are joined in the booth. I was the only one in the booth. I am joined in the booth by Orange. GG Orange, and welcome.
GG.
Nicely done. It looks like Krithel has forfeited. It's interesting that he just made it back to the dungeon that proved his downfall. He just made his way back into Swamp when he forfeited. So yeah, GG Orange, welcome. I guess first question I have for you, while we wait for Krithel to potentially join us here, first question I have for you is, how do you feel about that fire rod?
Punished for not doing a 1-hour uncle check. But
yeah.
but ultimately, I'm thankful that it was my go mode and not hookshot, because if I had gotten fire rod first, then there was no question I was going to go to Turtle Rock and probably pull pad.
Yep, yep. That's kind of the situation that Krithel ended up in. Uh, um, so, Krithel checked the front of escape much earlier than you. I think, yeah. Krithel checked the front of escape before Ice Palace. He got that fire rod very, very early. He was looking very, very much in the lead until I think what happened was misspending the or not opening up the front door of Swamp when he was in Swamp in Mire State. We are joined by Krithel, so hopefully Krithel can tell us more about what happened there. But first off, GG Krithel, sorry about that hookshot location. That was obviously basically the most punishing location that item could have possibly ended up in. But GG and welcome.
GG, yeah. I mean, it would be more punishing to be in pod, but I assumed I'd have lost about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Orange did pod. Orange did pod before Ice Palace, and then Krithel, you never set foot in there. So, so Krithel, my question for you is what happened with what happened with Swamp? Did you not or did you was it forgetting to open the front door and then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a key state and then not open the front door. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty early, so.
Okay. And then...
But yes. Yeah,
so,
unfortunately, when I came through to Swamp, because I did what Maya Hera Swamp, I was pretty focused on Hookshot Cave, which meant I knew I didn't want to do left side, or I didn't want to clear front of Swamp then. Well, I couldn't have done left side anyway. Well, yeah, no, I couldn't have done left side without fake clippering. But when I got flippers, then I didn't have the mirror. Because I wanted to go back to Swamp then, but without the mirror, I would have had to go back via Hera, which wasn't happening. Obviously, I would have gotten wrecked by the door anyway, but...
Yeah, we were trying to figure out if there was a way for you to clip from Hera to Swamp, or if your small key usage and small key income, I guess, had locked you into the situation where you would have had to go from Mire to Hera to Swamp again to complete this seed. Do you know
was in Hyrule? So.
Key rat. Okay, you could have done the key rat steal. Did you have the trench key in Swamp?
No, I didn't get that because I came with an extra Maya key. So yeah, I could have gone straight through Diver Down for that, or I could have got key rat.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was curious about. If that was an option that was available to you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too, I guess, not too unreasonable to after missing the front door to think, to kind of continue, follow through and think, okay, check other things, come back to Swamp later with, I guess committing to another Hera to Swamp, another Hera to Swamp trip, just hunting the hookshot, must have felt pretty not very attractive in that situation.
No. There just wasn't enough there for it to be worthwhile. Obviously, I was always going to do it before pod, but everything else just seemed to loop in slightly better than that. So.
Oh, and so when I guess literally the last thing we saw from you when you headed into Swamp was that just checking for the for the Hail Mary of the small key in the front of swamp?
No, I literally forgot. I didn't know that door was locked until I came back.
Oh,
I thought I'd
okay.
unlocked it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Rachel, I'll definitely get back to you with more questions, but I have to ask Krithel about the GT, the early GT play. Please tell me what was on your mind with that, because that was very, very impressive. Definitely a spicier play than I think I've seen in a while.
Yeah, so when we got mid so early, I kind of had a feeling it was pointing towards Ice Palace. But I didn't want to do Ice Palace before Pod if Pod was a crystal, which meant I knew I wanted to do a map check. Could have done it going to Super Bunny, but I ended up bailing out from going to Super Bunny because of how slow it was. And decided, like, it's not that much of a time investment to do GT Basement. Obviously, it's like varying degrees of out of logic. But with the items we had, it was going to be pretty hard to skip GT Basement anyway. So I figured I'd just loop in a map check with a quick GT dip, which was useful because then I knew Pod was a pendant, which let me then target Ice first, which obviously paid off for the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, you made it. Like, at first it seemed like you were very behind because Orange, we're talking about Krithel going to Ice. Krithel did a citrus clip into GT with no hookshot and no fire rod, which I was very surprised and intrigued by. And so that's the play we're talking about. But I can. So it looked like that lost that lost a considerable amount of time to the extra time of the citrus clip and the bomb jumps. But then it turned around and Orange full cleared Pod and found, I think, absolutely nothing there.
Totally empty.
Yeah.
But the good thing about being on racing for SpeedGaming is the fact that I need to use the vanilla music. So if I was using an MSU pack, then I wouldn't have known that Pod was a pendant by the music, and I would have killed Helma regardless, and then would have had a surprise Pikachu on my face when I saw that it was a pendant. Because when I started hearing the pendant music after my reset Pod, I was like, oh goodness, do I really want to kill Helma? Then the back was totally empty. By the way, nice 6 key front of Pod.
Oh, it was 6 keys. Okay. Did you not open the front door in Cave State?
I did, but I still got all 6 keys in the front of Pod.
Oh, okay. I just miscounted keys then. Okay. Wow, 6 key Pod, that's rare.
But after getting absolutely nothing in the back, I was like, okay, I'm still looking for Moon Pearl. I'm killing Helma.
Yeah. I think walking away from Helma in that situation is a scary proposition.
Other than that, there wasn't a chance I was touching Ganon's tower when I was looking for both hookshot and fire rod. I do have one question for Krithel. Did you ever find the mirror?
Yeah, it's the right side GT.
It was fire rod locked.
I was never getting that because fire rod was my go mode.
Yeah, so Krithel found that Orange while you were still doing a bunch of other chat. Or no, I think you were both in GT at the same time. So Orange, you cleared a lot of additional things that before going to the front of escape, and the whole time I was thinking, where is the mirror? Because the mirror is like the only thing that'll really drive Orange to the front of escape. I was worried that at some point you were going to start metagaming the front of escape. Like Krithel talked about how he said if progression's in Pod, then I've lost already, so I'm just going to last location. I'm going to commit to that. Orange, at some point I was worried for you. I was worried that you were starting to treat the front of Escape the same way. So the whole time I'm thinking, where's that mirror? Where's that mirror? Where's the mirror that's going to drive him to the front of Escape? And then Krithel picks it up on the fire rod locked side of GT, and I'm thinking, no, that's the worst possible location it could be. But
yeah, so
it ended up not costing you too much time.
I had several other places to do. There was no way I was going to dip a fire rodless, mirrorless Turtle Rock, so that was out. I already committed to skipping the Skull Woods tip. I wasn't going to do Smith's Chain because I figured Mitch was just locking Moon Pearl, and that was that. And Magic Bat was also off the table because I did not know whether or not Tile Room had a small key to put that powder into Logic.
It did.
Okay, so Magic Bat was in Logic.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've discussed this seed to a good extent. Again, GG to Orange, and very excited to see the game 3 between you two. See who ends up in the final 4. Any last comments before we wrap up?
Picking up an extra key in Meyer absolutely paid off. How often do you get to see a hook shotless left side swamp diver down?
Yeah, that's one of the fun things that can happen in this mode. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thank you both so much. This was a very, very interesting race to watch, and to solo copy. You had my mind spinning on thinking about Meyer, Hera, and swamp keys and mirror locations, and yeah, this was a bit of a very interesting race to watch, and so thank you both so much, and thank you so much to Malmo, one of the admins of this tourney, and our tracker today did a fantastic job. As you can see, she's just put Twitch links for everyone in the chat. You can give everyone a follow if you'd like. I've been Krobel here on comms for you, and yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in the next race. Bye bye.